gentlemen, to Game Changers. And as usual, we bring you top Christian leaders and top CEOs in different fields. And today is not exception. We bring you Mr. Kipchumba Murkomen, the Senator of Elgeyo Marakwet. And most of you did not know of this about him. He's actually a believer. But I won't say anymore. I'll allow him to say for himself. Welcome so much, sir.
Thank you, Candy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself.
I born and brought up in a small village in a place called Embobut, of Christian parents. My father is the pastor of the church where I went, so I've grown up from a Christian family. And later in life, when I became of age, I also accepted Christ as my savior.
What inspired you to join politics in the first place?
It's a little bit like, giving a try. I remember, because of the kind of person we were competing with, I remember thinking about the story of Joshua and Caleb. And so there's a friend of mine who used to preach. In one sermon, he said that God did not call us to go where it's empty. He called us to go where there are giants. And therefore, whether the giants are huge, big people, or people of whatever status, it was not going to affect basically our desire to want to go to where it is occupied. And I remember he called it the law of displacement. That if God wants to call you to work in a particular area, he can give you the ability to displace those that are in that place. So I got encouraged to go forward. But my biggest concern was where do you start? A county is a big place. I've never been an MP, I've never been a councillor or anything. So starting politics is a very high voltage, running around the whole county, trying to know every place in the county. Mine was even a more challenge because I'm dealing with two communities, two sub-tribes of Kalenjin, the Marakwets and the Kayos, with other small minorities inside there, the lot of dynamics. So there was that challenge of acceptability across the board. And I thank God it finally worked out. I think, my motivation here is that for anyone who feels like the task is too big, it's difficult to surmount. I remember again Joshua 1:9. I used to teach in Sunday school, and it says be strong, and courageous, and that God will help you conquer through. So really that motivation, I don't think, let me be very frank and honest, and this is not just because of the show, I would never have won these elections without God and without my biblical knowledge, the Sunday school experience.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I had to make my case all the time referring to the Bible.
Most journalists call you a newcomer. Did you have any leadership training for what you're doing right now?
Many Kenyans think that my first experience in leadership was, or public life, or basically in politics, was this senatorship. And many of them attribute it to my experience as a political analyst. Yeah. It's not true. I was a student leader in the university all through. I started by being the class dad of the Christian Union in first year. I ran for SONU, for Law Society, Kenya Law Student Society, and I lost in first year. In second year, I think I'm the only chairman who was elected as second year for Kenya Law Student Society, and who served the same time as among the first people to serve the same time as a chairman of all the students and the vice chairman of the Christian Union. That experience at that time, where you are the vice chairman of the Christian Union but you are in the student politics, was a wonderful experience for me. It taught me that you can combine both politics and Christianity. And I ended up being the CU chairman. At the same time, I was the interim chair of bringing back SONU. So I led the whole student leadership in the whole university, did a lot of things, including introducing the student parliament in the University of Nairobi and so forth. And that experience was already there. And I remember the theme along the Christian Union at that point in time was about Christianity and politics. And I really want to thank Focus, because Fellowship of Christian Union grounded us in this training that there is no Christian in the marketplace and a Christian in church. A Christian is a Christian no matter where you are.
Kipchumba, being a politician in this country is a very demanding job. Do you still have time to be a father and a husband? How do you balance your family?
I am very glad for one thing. My wife is the one who told me when I was consulting was whether or not I should go to politics. It's my wife and my mom who told me that your time has come. And if you don't do it now, you may not do it at all. So I remember my mom once telling me that the days before you went to politics were better. And the other day, I told her it was you and with Gladys, which is my wife, who supported this issue. I wanted to go slow. And so you can see the pressure is there. If you are unable to pick your mom's call for a whole day, or you are unable to be with your family in good time. But I try my best. There's sometimes some extra costs. You have to rush to the county, you take a flight back in the evening, 2 days thereafter you go, so that you can at least spend time with your children. My greatest concern is the kids. I told you my father taught us leadership through evening fellowship. My concern is that, if I miss to transfer the same skills to my children, I would be denying them what I got. I wish politics will grow in this country to a stage where an elected leader will just be seen like doing another job, so that after hours of work you are given a chance to also do your own private things. But in this country, if you give excuses in a meeting that, I was in the family, I was home, you are likely to be told, we told you, we want you 24/7, don't tell us about your family. We need to begin to appreciate politics as just part of other functions, just like someone who has gone to job during the day and can be able to go back and continue family duties.
Kipchumba, how does the church view political leadership? And you get any support from the church?
I have a problem with the Christian churches because there is very little support sometimes that is given to people in elective offices. But I want to tell you that my network in Focus has been very useful. My friends whom we worked in Fellowship of Christian Unions, including the current leadership of the Fellowship of Christian Unions, Masibo, people like Kilonzo, former CU officials who send me verses, sometimes call me to find out how I'm doing, sometimes call me and tell me we are praying for you. That gives you the encouragement, but I think we need to do more. I think the network of Christians and Christian influence in this country is going down. Christians are no longer sitting and meeting strategically to see how they can contribute to issues like economy, democracy, support in devolution and other things. We're still having that demarcation of church versus government, church versus politics, and I think Christians should be able to use us. Let me be very honest to you. You find key institutions in government now being occupied by men and women who have little regard for morals. It saddens me, and I have no fear to say this publicly, that I don't support gay marriages as a Christian, but you find Christians have slipped to the point that you have gay people occupying offices of influence, and the things they are going to set for this country is not going to be good for this nation. I'm not saying that people who perhaps have certain inclinations and behaviors should be thrown away. I'm just saying that to what extent are Christians bring the influence to what we used to call in Focus marketplace, a Christian in marketplace, that you want to influence. To what extent are bishops calling us, not to invite us for fundraisings and so forth, but to tell us this is the agenda we have in this nation as a church, and as a senator who is a Christian, we want you to prosecute, this is our agenda. Murkomen will make mistakes. I'll never refuse that. Sometimes I may goof and call people this and that, or sometimes I may react angrily to this and that. But it doesn't mean that therefore the gap between the church leadership and its members should be widened by virtue of one or two incidents. In fact, the worse we behave, the more we need close support from Christians. So I think that's the point, and I strongly believe that you can go to heaven perpendicularly and horizontally do a lot of work for the benefit of Kenyans.
As we wind up, I want you to turn to the camera and I want you to tell us your dream for this nation and what you desire from the church. What kind of support do you think the church should give leaders in politics?
Church, please bring back your influence to Kenyan institutions. Do not leave the counties, do not leave the commissions, do not leave the judiciary, do not leave the executive, do not leave the legislature to just the wishes of people. And let me say this, Revelations, fast forward, John looks at heaven and sees that people of all tribes, people of all color, people of all age are all in heaven. And I have in the past said that heaven is not for Kalenjins, heaven is not for Luos, for Kikuyus, for Luyas, it's not for one tribe. It is a place for all of us, and if we want to go there, we must have that unity demonstrated here on earth in the manner in which we act and for the things we want to do. And that's what I want to see, a more united country that is focused on development and not lots of noise.